Visitor locker room that way. Chris Paul back on his former home court. Led the Clippers to the playoffs in each of the 6 seasons here. Never made it past the second round and never made fast friends with Blake Griffin from all reports. Or if you're going to read into what you saw on this night, what you may have heard in the past, Chris Paul did some great things for the community. That needs to be said. This was not a great showing for Houston. And Griffin and Paul into it from the get-go. Of course, Paul was the face of the franchise. That belongs to Griffin right now. Trevor Ariza drives. Griffin makes contact. They get wrapped up. Griffin says, hey, man, it's cool. It's cool. Afterwards, Griffin says they were talking about whether he was going to invite him to his birthday party. I think that may have been fake news. All right, Griffin right here. Talking with Mike D'Antoni. Asked afterwards what he said. He said, well, he said something to me. I said the same thing back to him. Chris Paul not happy right there. Blake Griffin's going to get a technical, and this little dust up right here. So he's got one. Spinning on Chris Paul right there. Making contact. We got a lot of not happy people right there. There they are again. D'Antoni, of course, who coached in this town for a while. And then Ariza, tearaway shorts. I mean, it just was not good. Clippers were in control of this game pretty much for the line. James Harden not playing, DeAndre Jordan not playing, Austin Rivers not playing, but apparently part of the action, as you will hear here momentarily from Adrian Wojnarowski, who was at this game. Griffin in right there, gets knocked out of bounds, throws it off Gordon's back. He clearly doesn't like that, but listen, that's a heads-up basketball play by Blake Griffin. Right there, you get a little bump right there, trying to retain possession. The game was still in doubt. And then Griffin coming down the court right there. The elbow by Ariza right there. And Griffin right there. And earmuffs. Both those fellas were ejected. The Clippers win the game. A lot of post game.
I mean, it's always like that when you hoop, especially when you're playing against former team and stuff like that. All the emotions that go into it, seeing the familiar faces and stuff like that. You know, for us, we got to be better. Get them the credit they won the game.
How did you see what happened with Blake and Mike, if you were able to see it?
Our coach told me he elbowed him, you know what I mean? So then I seen him talking crazy to coach, so I always gonna have coach back.
What'd you say to him, man?
I don't know, you probably got it. Ain't no telling. All the cameras in there now, you know what I mean? You probably can tell me what I said better than I did. Whatever it was, I'm sure my mama gonna tell me to watch my mouth.
What did you and D'Antoni say to each other? And then what
You
happened?
didn't see?
I couldn't see
I
you.
saw it on the scoreboard.
I only saw
So
him.
ask me what I said.
But what did you say?
Well, after he said what he said, I said the same thing back.
Okay. And then second part, what were you and Trevor saying to each other there when that happened at the end?
He asked me if I was still coming to his birthday party. I said, yeah, I'm going to try. So we'll see. Yeah, we have a different relationship.
Adrian Wojnarowski joins us right now. You were at that game. Listen, if you want bad blood, you got it. What you got after post-game here?
Neil, sources told me after the game, four Rockets players, James Harden, Chris Paul, Gerald Green, and Trevor Ariza, literally breached the Clippers locker room, went through a back hallway that connects the Rockets locker room with the Clippers, got into the room. They were calling for Austin Rivers, Blake Griffin. Security got to them before there was any contact. The Clipper players saw them come in, I was told. They jumped up to their feet, but there was no physical confrontation. And while that was going on, Rocket Center, Clint Capella was knocking on the front door of the locker room. He was not let in.
How does the NBA handle something like this?
Well, they're going to clearly start an investigation right away on it, talk to team officials, talk to the players. I would imagine that there will be some severe discipline here. It is rare, if ever, you hear about a team literally getting into another team's locker room, but that happened tonight. You saw what spilled over from during the game with Blake Griffin. Austin Rivers was injured, wasn't playing but his verbiage from the bench incited some of those Rockets players, and they made a beeline right for that Clipper locker room after the horn.
You've been covering hoops a while. You ever seen anything like this?
No, that's rare. To have guys go en masse into a locker room, and as the Clippers privately were saying, there was probably really only one person who knew that you could get from the visiting locker room where the Rockets were to the Clipper locker room through that back door, and that would obviously be Chris Paul, who played several seasons in L.A.
Yeah, Chris Paul's first return back to the Staples Center after going to the Rockets, and we got fireworks. Adrian Wojnarowski. We got fireworks. We got tweets, too. Patrick Beverley, who did not play in this game. He's injured, but you saw him on the bench there. In fact, you saw him holding back Austin Rivers if you were looking in the background of one of those shots we just showed with Adrian Wojnarowski. He tweeted afterwards, a different culture in L.A. No more soft stuff here. Lost in all this, Lou Williams, 31 points. Clippers had an 8-point lead with 4 minutes to play in the game. In the final minutes of the fourth, there were as many techs as buckets. Both Griffin and Ariza ejected for the first time this season.
Meanwhile, Cavaliers have won 13 in a row at home despite all their troubles. Warriors had a 12-game win streak on the road, including a 2-point win in Toronto on Saturday with Steph Curry back in the lineup. And LeBron James got aggressive early, but in a basketball way. Isaiah Thomas throwing it up for him. Cleveland back home after a 1-4 road trip. Just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Cavaliers throw it away. Kevin Durant. And he gives LeBron James a little glance. Second quarter. LeBron James and Ty Lue coming up with a plan. Did not include this. Steph Curry with the step back on James. 4 of 8 from deep for Curry as he puts the move on James. Curry with 23. Warriors down 2, though. Durant working on James. Get it up here. 4 blocks and 3 steals for James, trying to lead the way defensively. That's been a big part of Cleveland's struggles. Under 10 seconds to play in the first half. Cavaliers by 5. Dwayne Wade with the steal. Leaves it for Jeff Green. Cavaliers head to halftime up 64-57. Third quarter now, tied at 83. Andre Iguodala comes up with a loose ball. LeBron James had problems with turnovers in this game, had 8 of them. Durant will finish at the other end. He had 32 on 16 shots, and he had 16 points in the third quarter. Curry trying to get there. James again with another block. Look at the swat there. Ensuing inbounds play by the Warriors. Jay Crowder with the rip. Pass ahead to James. Put him on the line, too. Didn't make the free throw. 85 apiece. James with 32 for the game. Warriors, though, shut him down to begin the fourth. Cavaliers scored just 4 points in the first 6 minutes of the fourth. Is that good? No.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not good.
They missed 17
Very bad.
of their first 19 shots to start the fourth quarter.
Very bad.
Absolutely. What happened?
Had an opportunity, we couldn't. The ball, it seemed like the rim just got smaller and smaller. Ball didn't go in for us.
It definitely got stagnant, and we wasn't getting good shots.
Pretty telling there in the fourth quarter of us not playing our style of basketball, and that's been pretty apparent lately. That's been going on.
Meanwhile, Warriors doing what they do. They had 33 assists in their 41 buckets. Curry to Durant. Warriors up over looking to put it away. Next possession, Draymond Green going Airbnb to Iguodala. Green 11 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. Warriors 118 to 108.
You want to play well versus them every time. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's the last 3 finals appearances, and you want to play well. You want to see where you are because, for the most part, they've been playing well for a long time now. So, you want to try to get better and better and see things that you can work on going forward, things that you need to get better at, things you can continue to get better at. So, it was a good game for us, for 36 minutes maybe 40 minutes. We had some opportunities, but we weren't able to cash in.
All right, so we go back to Christmas. Warriors and Cavaliers have been going in opposite directions since Golden State won that game over Cleveland and Oakland. Warriors have won 10 of their last 12. Cleveland has lost 8 of 10. Their 2 wins came against a Portland team on the second night of a back-to-back and against the last-place Orlando Magic. Ramona Shelburne with Durant.
13 straight wins on the road for you guys. What makes you so much more lethal on the road?
I think we just come together a little bit better. You know, when it's you against feel like it's us against the world on the road. It makes us focus in even more. You know, tonight to start the game, we lost a little bit of focus. You know, it was swaying back and forth. And I think that third, we kind of, you know, knew what we wanted to do, stuck to it, and was able to cruise to a W. So it's just our focus, and it has to be better when we're at home.
Yeah, I was a little upset at halftime just because we weren't guarding anybody. We didn't play with much intensity. And, you know, we're going against a team we've seen in the finals 3 straight years. It seems like there should have been more intensity to start the game, but it wasn't there, and fortunately we got it going in the second half.
Sign of a great coach, man. He's still looking for more even when they win against one of the top contenders. And this has been an impressive road trip so far. They've beaten the Bucks, the Raptors, and the Cavaliers, some of the top teams in the East. Biggest difference in those games has been the Warriors' ability to hit open shots. They're shooting 75% of those shots, where their 3 opponents have shot 60%.